Well, the Saints Row customization showcase released 2 weeks ago. Yes, I know I'm very late on this.
About time your burnt ass woke up.
And hot damn, it provided over 20 minutes of gameplay and in-depth information. On top of that, there was a customization AMA that answered over 100 fan questions. So why don't we dive in and look at some highlights, a few lowlights, and what we can expect from here. With all that said, let's first look at customization for the boss. So by far the biggest change for player customization is we can now alter our boss on the go. I honestly feel a bit divided on this choice. On one hand, it's nice we no longer have to travel to a plastic surgeon just to change a taunt, or drive to a clothing store to equip an own cosmetic. On the other, it hurts the immersion of the gameplay a bit and takes away the need to explore the map. Now, I know it could be frustrating to constantly make long trips just for minor changes, but I just wish the on-go selection was a bit less complex. I would have preferred just having the option to change minor things like taunts and accessories, but that's just me. Though with the new skin options, I could see myself adding bullet wounds and open scars on the go just to make specific story moments feel more dramatic. It's also briefly shown here that we can now upload or download characters directly in-game. So basically, it's like having my Steelport back except being a lot more convenient. The days of copying character formulas online will once again be a thing of the past. As for clothing, two of the biggest fan requests for customization were shown off: layered clothes and socks. We did it, boys! The war is over! Socks are at long last back in a Saints Row game! Ah! Anyway, these were both confirmed for some time, but it's another thing to finally see them in-game. Now, I've seen some people comment that it appears that certain articles of clothing don't actually have customizable layers, though it was confirmed that these are simply presets and that the individual pieces can still be separately customized, so that's good. It was also mistaken that the undershirt layer wasn't returning. In Saints Row 1 and 2, you had 3 layer options for the upper body, which consisted of an undershirt, an overshirt, and a coat. In the showcase, you can only see layer options for a shirt and jacket. Well, thankfully, it turns out the undershirts have been moved to the underwear category, so the option has indeed returned. Some other options are coming back, but they have been slightly modified. Like Wear Styles as an example isn't exactly back, but you can still choose variants of the same clothing. Say you want to wear a business shirt, you could buy a version that's either worn open, with the sleeves rolled up, or both. It's a little odd they didn't keep it like before, but I'm just happy the feature is basically back. Though unfortunately, it seems that we won't be able to place logos on our clothing like in Saints Row 2. Moving on to physical customization, nearly all the options from Saints Row 2 and the 3rd are making a return with advanced options plus a variety of new features. One component that especially stands out to me is being able to change both your figure and body type. This means we'll no longer have to deal with Saints Row the 3rd's problem where you could have any body build but still look like a musclehead. Some of the new additions include asymmetrical face customization, prosthetics, and, emoji sensors. I've seen some people haven't been too thrilled with the idea of using emojis for a sensor, but thankfully they're completely optional. And if you were concerned about male nipples being censored, it was confirmed that upper body censorship is optional for any gender. Oh my. Skin customization has seen quite a few upgrades, including being able to change the RGB, brightness, vein definition, glossiness, teeth, texture, and yeah, some of these are a bit too much for my taste. One new feature that wasn't shown but confirmed later was body hair. I just hope there's an option for Austin Powers' Chest Rug of Love.
Oh, behave.
When it comes to customizing your player's personality, it seems they've taken a few steps forward, but sadly a few steps back. Changing your player's voice makes a comeback with a total of 8 available options. The showcase didn't give us the best idea of how they'll sound, but it was said they'll range from serious to more over the top. However, it was confirmed in the AMA that you won't be able to change the pitch of your voice like in Saints Row 4. Taunts and compliments make a return, except now they're only referred to as emotes. I just hope that NPCs will still react to them like they did in the past. As for a few fan favorite features like walk styles, they regrettably will not be in the game. Well, at least not exactly. It seems now that certain emotes will let you walk around with a different animation, but it's just not the same. Fighting styles are also sadly missing, but you can however choose from a wide range of melee takedowns. We've seen a few of these in the trailer so far, and I have to admit, they seem pretty cool. It's sort of like Saints Row 2's takedowns, just without the selected fight style. On to weapon customization, this is easily the best we've seen in the series. Not only can you change the color and surface details of your firearms, you can also add decals or choose an entirely different model like in Saints Row 4. And get this, upgrades at long last could be disabled. Oh, thank God! This also includes dual-wielding upgrades, so as an older fan who's had a disdain for this problem for the last 10 years, I'm happy. Now I wish that's all I had to say about weapons and we can move on, but there's one major concern I need to address. So you may have been watching this segment of the showcase and noticed something very subtle. Do you see it? It's that nearly every weapon has a foregrip. In fact, it's on every single two-handed gun. I wish I could say this was intentionally done for the showcase, but actually, due to limitations on animation memory, Volition had no choice but to leave a permanent foregrip on all these weapons. Now this may not bother you specifically, but it's been a growing concern and I felt the need to point it out. Personally, I've never been a fan of foregrips, so it's pretty disappointing to see it on a majority of the available arsenal. Though I do commend Volition for being upfront about the problem and not brushing it off as a creative decision. Hopefully in the future we can see this issue addressed and possibly get attachment customization, similar to what they were attempting with Saints Row 4 Prime. Moving into vehicle customization, all I could really say is that it looks fantastic. They've brought back nearly every feature we love in the past and added new ones that players wouldn't have expected. For example, you could build off presets, add grime or age to the paint, and select sounds for your engine and manual transmission. Though by far the standout features have to be equipment, signature abilities, and at long last being able to customize boats and aircrafts. This was only possible with mods and glitches in the past, so it's quite exciting to finally be able to do this without the extra hassle. For equipment, classics like Nitrous and Kneecappers return, plus we have some new ones like an off-road kit to drive in the desert, and my personal favorite, the towing cable. This allows you to drag any vehicle behind your ride, and the ability is even available for aircrafts. This is something I've been dying to see in more games since I played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Mercenaries 2. Though the towing cable seems to give off an EMP effect, which I hope is optional, it would be a bummer not to be able to have a tug-of-war with your co-op partner. And it wasn't discussed in the video, but it seems the cable can either be customized or has a unique design depending on the vehicle you're using. Signature abilities are quite interesting. Each vehicle has a distinct power that becomes available once you complete a specific challenge. These include abilities like crab steering, where you can drive side to side to avoid traffic. Ejector seats will launch your player into the air, where you can then use a wingsuit for a quick getaway. I just hope there's an option to eject your co-op partner for some humorous trolling. Though it isn't shown, there seems to be an ability to spring your vehicle into the air. Volition has actually experimented with a feature like this back in Saints Row 4, but it was deemed unnecessary due to the game's superpowers. Anyway, the ball and chain ability looks pretty cool. It's basically the towing cable with a permanent wrecking ball on the end. And the last ability shown was Infinite Boost. It more or less seems like an endless version of Nitrous, which only stops when you collide with something. My only complaint is the visual effect when using it. I'm sorry, but this just looks awful. It was stated that there are more signature abilities that are unlocked throughout the story, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see how they turn out. And finally, on to the HQ. There's honestly quite a lot to discuss here, so I'll just start with the basics. The functionality and customization of the HQ appears to be a combination of the previous games. As you progress through the story, the HQ will evolve a total of 3 times, much like in Saints Row 2. The HQ also provides a hybrid of Saints Row 2 and the Third's customization, allowing you to change your clothing, weapons, vehicles, and gang style. But for a new feature that's sure to make a lot of people happy, you could change the appearance of the main Saints.
Thank you, God.
Okay, before we lose our heads here, we don't know the extent of this feature just yet. From the brief glance we've seen, it appears that you can select specific mission outfits for each member and change the color of their default clothes. Now, if by chance Volition is listening, I want to suggest a possible DLC regarding this feature that I believe would rake in some considerable money. And that would be a retro pack that allows the new Saints to wear the OG's outfits. Just picture Eli wearing Pierce or Dex's clothing.
That was a rhetorical question, but thanks for your support.
Nina could possibly have an outfit that resembles Saints Row 2 or 3 Shaundi, and Kevin could have a Tobias outfit so he can keep his signature shirtless look. I don't know, I just think a lot of older fans would register with it, and it wouldn't alienate the new fans since it's completely optional. Anyway, there's also something very interesting with this shot that a lot of people have pointed out, and that is this mysterious character behind Eli. So we've known that there's a 5th hidden member of the Saints that hasn't been revealed yet, and this must be them. I'm not exactly sure why marketing has been keeping this character a secret for so long, but it's been confirmed that they will eventually be revealed. But back to the HQ, the last 2 highlights are customization options for the church and the criminal empire table. Looking at the customization first, we are shown these pedestals where you can place collectibles you found. And it wasn't really shown in the video, but you can also place smaller collectibles at any spot. Imagine the Pimp My Mansion feature from Scarface, The World Is Yours. I really like the idea of finding unique collectibles in the world that you can later place at the HQ. This should really reward exploration of Santo Ileso. And for the Criminal Empire table, this serves as a base of operations to open and control criminal ventures throughout the city. We've seen a peek at this in the past, but it's interesting that it allows you to choose where buildings, stores, and activities are placed. There's a total of 14 open lots, but it's rumored that there's more criminal ventures, so it might become a matter of choosing which ventures are your favorite for any given playthrough. With all this talk about the HQ, I'm sure there's one thing on the back of your mind. What about cribs? Well, it pains me to say this, but without including the HQ, it's been confirmed there'll only be one crib in the game. Yeah, pretty big bummer. Though it's been hinted at that the Saints Tower criminal venture will have crib functionality, so we'll have to wait and see what that entails. But unless the Saints Tower includes the same customization as the HQ, the older fans are not gonna be happy. Anyway, moving on to the customization AMA, I've already sprinkled a bit of the answers throughout the video, but there's two I still absolutely need to address. Probably the biggest is that multiplayer is confirmed to be returning sometime after launch. According to Volition's creative director Brian Traficante, we had to lay down the foundation for this Saints Row, get the big things in place, and cover the key launch features and systems. All that said, this is the beginning. We have big ambitions and want to expand in big ways. Well, damn. I'm really looking forward to what the future holds for multiplayer, and I'll have plenty to say about it later. Though I wish this last answer was just as uplifting. Someone asked during the AMA if cheats will be returning, and Brian Traficante had this to say. Not currently in the game, but something we discussed multiple times and know they are desired. Damn. Well, I'm just gonna say that I'm praying they consider adding in the cheats before it's too late. I know cheats have been a dying feature in modern gaming, but for Saints Row, you're basically cutting off one of the game's limbs. The series has provided us with some of the most memorable and legendary cheats seen in any open world game. Itty Bitty, I Am Giant, Low Gravity, Ped War, Super Explosions, Evil Cars. These and countless more provided endless hours of replayability. That's not even mentioning experiencing cheats in co-op. So please, Volition, I urge you to consider adding cheats. And there you have the highlights and lowlights of the customization showcase and AMA. Quite a lot of information to digest, but I think it's fair to say that this is the most ambitious customization we've seen for the Saints Row series. Though not every customization feature from the past is making a return, I feel for the most part that the new innovative ideas is enough to make up for it. Though it's still a massive bummer to learn about the lack of cribs and potentially cheats not coming back. I guess this is a good time to mention that it was confirmed at the end of the video that there will be a customization demo releasing soon. In the past, we've seen a customization demo for Saints Row the 3rd and 4, which came out 2 weeks prior to the release. However, with Saints Row social media hinting that the demo is just around the corner, I don't think we'll be waiting too much longer to see it. With 4 more months left until Saints Row's release, I'm expecting we'll see a pickup in the game's marketing. Hopefully we'll see some kind of story trailer since little is still known about the plot, and I know players would like to see unedited gameplay to get a better feel for the flow of the game. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to express your feelings about the customization showcase or your general thoughts on the new Saints Row, please feel free to leave a comment below. And before ending today's video, I'd like to give a special thanks to my Patreon sponsors, John, Sam Just, Delta, Big G, Red Skill 100, Dr. Purple Bunny 78, Gabriel Snyder, Fluffy Tail, Pokedex, and Specialist Angel Figueroa. Like always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
A true boss is never overwhelmed.
Oh, we can most definitely agree on that.